Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. So this past Tuesday, we all know that Apple announced the new iPhone 13 along with a couple of other things. In this video, I'm going to be talking primarily about the iPhone 13 series. They announced the new Apple Watch Series 7 as well as the new iPad mini along with the iPhones, but I'm going to focus more on the iPhones. So let's get right to it. So the iPhone 13 series is very similar to the iPhone 12 series that Apple announced last year. So they announced the iPhone 13 mini, the regular iPhone 13, the iPhone 13 Pro, and the Pro Max. So as far as the specs are concerned, they are very similar to last year with a couple of minor enhancements and tweaks, and obviously a new chipset, the A15 Bionic chip, which I'm going to talk about right now. Right off the bat, I'm going to start off by mentioning the fact that all four iPhones have an OLED screen. It's also worth mentioning that Apple has finally transitioned to 120Hz smooth refresh rate, but not for every single iPhone on the lineup. Only the 13 Pro and the Pro Max. So again, just to be clear, this does not apply to the regular iPhone 13 or the iPhone 13 mini. And as far as the design is concerned, like I already mentioned, it is very similar to last year's lineup, but the notch in the middle of the phone is about 20% smaller, so you do have more screen real estate, if you want to call it that. So another thing that's new about this new line of iPhones is the camera system, which Apple is calling an advanced new camera system, which is obviously different from last year. And in this new camera system, they also have a couple of more modes for the user, like cinematic mode, which is supposed to essentially simulate taking basically shots, like cinematic photography or shots or whatever you want to call it. And as far as the screen sizes are concerned, the 13 mini has a 5.4-inch screen, the 13 and the 13 Pro have a 6.1-inch screen, and the 13 Pro Max has a 6.7-inch screen. So when it comes to the storage options, in the past, Apple started their phones at 64 GB of base storage. Obviously, that's not going to cut it for 2021. So this time around, they did make an improvement with the base storage to start it at 128. But there is a catch, and the catch is the fact that in the camera there's actually a ProRes mode where if you record using this mode you'll have really high quality videos. So that mode is only going to be available for the 256, 512 and 1TB variants, not the 128 GB variant. So if you go for 128 GB of storage on the iPhone, you're going to be stripped of this mode. Obviously, the most obvious decision for why Apple made this decision is the fact that maybe this mode takes up a lot of storage, so maybe that's why they stripped it altogether. But either way, I just wanted to tell you guys that little fact because it is very important. But other than that, everything else is pretty much the same as last year. You could consider this an incremental upgrade. All the other specs are pretty much the same. Unfortunately, we're still stuck with Lightning for this variant of the iPhone, so no USB-C. I know that practically every other Apple device, including their iPads and MacBooks, have Thunderbolt and USB-C, but iPhone still doesn't have it. Now let's talk about the pricing for these phones. So the pricing is going to be 13 mini is going to start at $700, the regular 13 is going to start at $800, the 13 Pro is going to start at $1,000, and the Pro Max is going to start at $1,100. And yes, you can spec up the Pro Max all the way up to 1 TB of storage, but it is going to run you $1,600, which is, at that point, it's more expensive than a regular baseline MacBook Pro. But that's pretty much it for the differences, as far as the differences are concerned, between the iPhone 12 series and the iPhone 13 series. Like I said from the get-go, everything else is pretty much the same, and this is pretty much an incremental upgrade. I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of years ago, iPhone used to have the S series, so they used to have like the iPhone 4S, the 5S, and so on and so forth. They abolished those altogether for whatever reason, but if I really had to put a name on this phone, I wouldn't really call it the iPhone 13, I would call it the iPhone 12S series instead. Because quite frankly, truth be told, that's what this is. And obviously, Apple is not like other companies like Samsung or OnePlus or any other Android companies, because Apple is an iconic brand and so is the iPhone. The iPhone is a classic, iconic design, and they don't want to really change that over the years or make something really drastic. But either way, that's been it for this video, and obviously Apple announced a couple of other things at this launch event that took place on Tuesday, which I couldn't talk about in this video. But either way, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.